opening's gigantic. It's the whole front. The whole front of the thing. Well, you look underneath here. That whole, see how the whole thing's open?
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's just, I don't know why the wire's not falling through there.
Oh, I see. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're through. And then you just let it lay in there like that, right behind the chicken feed. Just throw it in there, and then that you can just plug into that when you're ready. Okay. So that's an
this
easy.
battery you got here, is that a rechargeable battery?
Yes, that's a rechargeable. It's called the JR Sport 1500 milliamp rechargeable, and that'll run about 4 hours of runtime or more on these, on the radio. It just kind of depends how much you're moving.
Right.
This engine runs so nice. Once you get it moving, you can just kind of just watch it, forget it. It's on its own. It's almost as bad as those gas-fired Accucraft. Oh. Okay. Things that are different. Okay, here's your charger. And I'm going to start with the very basics on here. Things that are different. This is your binding plug. Okay. So don't lose that. They no longer use the big square pack. These are rechargeables. These are nickel metal hydride rechargeable AA's, available anywhere. Okay, so if these ever go bad, but they are rechargeables and they recharge with that charger. So that's kind of, I like that they did that. I don't know exactly how long they last. I haven't. I ran it probably for 2 hours, and it started at about 5.5 volts, and when I was done, I think it was at 5.3. So I only dropped 0.2 of a volt over about a 2-hour run time. So. What I don't like about this is this gets you into the programming mode. If you actually push and hold this thing, okay, it puts you into setup mode. And you might do that accidentally. I did. Well, to get out of that, you have a choice. You can either just turn it off, okay, and turn it back on, and you've changed nothing. That's what I would do. Or you can push this down and hold it for 3 seconds and let it go, and it goes back to the regular run mode. Me personally, just shut it off. Now, what I have is I have you set up on a failsafe, and I'm going to show you what that does real quick. Let's see. I think our weather's going to cooperate for us. So let's grab some rollers. I wish this table was more level.
It is a little precarious.
Yeah. But I don't know where else to, unless you want to steal one.
We can't. We do that.
I'm set up. Bench, and they're fine.
Have you seen Steve's board deal he's got?
No.
It's a recessed board.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've always thought I would do that, and I never did it. So, okay. Well, we're gonna get this all hooked together and everything. Because I want you to see how everything lays in here when it's all together. Because of, so far all you've seen is piecemeal. It's not very impressive. Water, and I thought, well, I'm just going to leave it in there rather than take it back out. And do you have a hobby shop near you?
Our RC Hobby Shop is out on the Southwest Freeway.
Okay, you can go acquire one of these. Okay.
Right.
All right, good. Okay. Continuing with hookups, and I want to grab a couple tools. I want to grab my toolbox quick. I'll let you put that in so you kind of get used to that arrangement. It's a little fidgety, so you have to be careful. It just slips in there, slides back in that hole, right, and then lays down carefully, and be careful that it's not binding when you lay it down. And one day, I'm not sure how I did it, but when I was putting it in there, I bumped that little push-in thing. I'm not sure how I did it, and all the alcohol leaked out on me.
So it's something to watch then.
Be careful, yeah. But look for overflow when you put that all back together before you let it. Just take a quick peek. That's one of those things where I would fill that with alcohol, put that back in, and then open up my chicken feed. You want to let those wicks soak anyhow, and then look for leaks, and then go ahead and you know, fill your thing. And by the way, that holds like a whole liter of water, as does, then the boiler holds 8/10 of a liter. So if you have a 2-liter bottle, if you bring the boiler to half to 3/4 and fill that tender, you won't have much left. So, but all right, leave that there. All right, let's see here. There's a couple things I'll end up showing you. The manual is showing you the batteries on there being different. Okay, so you understand those. And the antenna's the same deal. When you go to, and you can see this little plastic cover things are still on these. I didn't peel any of that stuff off. You can take that off, so it looks nice when you're ready. I think there's one on here. It looks like, let's see the little curlies. Yeah, so I didn't bother to strip that down. And here's what I did. This has this, the throttle, stays where you put it. This is spring loaded. This was spring loaded both ways. I pulled the back and made it so it sticks. Doesn't feel quite like that one because it doesn't have quite the same internal components, but I basically duplicated what they had over here, so you can feel what they feel like. And I kind of duplicated it there. So
this is the throttle, this is the reverse.
No, I'm sorry, I have a reverser. This is the reverser, and this is your throttle. I was going to label them for me, and I don't know if you want me to or not. I haven't.
This says
that says throttle cut, and that's confusing because that's not how they are. See, I didn't change what controls what. The radio is set up that this is your elevator, which is now your reverser. This is your throttle, and that's how it is from the factory.
Right control is a reverser.
If you, I mean, you could put on there forward, reverse, and then fast and stop if you want. And what I was going to show you is what I did when you bind this radio and you put everything, get everything all set up. And I actually went back and did a binding it a second time so I could set it. They have you set what they call a fail-safe mode. So when you're we're on there. Plug in here. Now, do you want to do this so you get used to it? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and plug that in. It's that one that's closest to you. And just make the colors match the other ones. And the orange goes, yeah. You slide it back in. That's it. Okay? And then when you're done, you just pull it out. Okay, now, what happens here is, like I said, this is your reverser. Okay? And this rocks. There is a nut. This screw goes into a nut and then into a bracket that goes then into that thing. It's designed to move because if it's totally rigid, I think it would just break off. Okay, so I left it, so that screw, you see that rocks a little bit? That's because the whole servo wants to rock. And it can pivot on this screw a little bit. Originally I had everything rigid, and then when the one position I put it in, with it up higher without the little nut on here for spacer, it would hit the cabbage when the cabbage was on. Well, that's not good. So I went back and redesigned that, and this is the throttle, like I said, and that's open and closed. So up, go, and then close, down is closed. And of course you always leave it sit in the middle when you're not running.
And it doesn't hurt for that to move on the bottom either, huh?
No, that's just the nature of those two pieces is it flexes and that's fine. And if they fail, they're just brass sheet. And there's nothing special about them. You can probably just match up the two pieces, bend at a 90-degree angle. There's one screw, you just take the one screw out, and I have a little box here with the extra tools. Your extra screws, I'm going to hang on to and give those back to you when I give you the Reno back. Because Aster fasteners are unlike any others. You just can't get them. For 10 years, I've run into this every time I need a screw for one of my engines. I had to go to somebody, or you have to re-drill and tap it.
I never did try to get a hold of Hans for the Reno, and what I forgot to bring today was the extra gasket, so I'll have to go from the mail to.
Okay, that may not even be a problem. I may actually have I have spares. So if you send me yours, if I need them.